Be me, 30, male, married to Eleanor for 5 years, met her in college, thought she was the one. I worked my butt off at my tech job, paid for our nice apartment, did most of the chores, cooked dinner half the week, thought we had a good thing going. She was supposed to be my partner. But over the past year, things changed. She started hanging out with different people. Their influence affected our relationship. She'd come home from their brunches, eyes gleaming with fresh talking points. You know, you're just so complacent, Anon, she'd say. I feel like I'm suffocating here. You never push me. Apparently, I pushed her to reach for the wine bottle on the top shelf. That counts, right? She'd sigh dramatically, like my existence was a personal affront. I need more. I need to explore. I need to find my true self. I just nod, try to cook her favorite meal, tidy the apartment, but it was never enough. It was definitely a projection from her part. Not happy with her life, so blame the spouse. She'd accuse me of weaponized domesticity or emotional labor outsourcing. It was always my fault she felt unfulfilled. She needed me to level up, but never appreciated what I did. My self-worth was slowly poisoned by her subtle digs. It wasn't always like this. It would come in waves. But I noticed a trend over the years, waiting for it to get better, but it would always return. One night, she sits me down. She's wearing that smug, self-satisfied look, the one that usually preceded a lecture about my unexamined privilege. Anon, I've been doing a lot of deep work, she says. I think we need an open relationship. My stomach falls through the floor. I just stare. She continues, speaking faster. It's about growth, you know, true liberation from societal constructs. She wants to raw dog Brock with a clear conscience. It'll take the pressure off us, she adds. Like our relationship was a leaky tire she wanted to deflate further. I ask, dumbfounded, what does that even mean? She pulls out a notebook, literally a list, neatly written. Here are my boundaries, she says. You can see other people, but these are off limits. She taps the page. No co-workers, no exes, and definitely no one in my friend group. She named Bridget, Daphne and Vivian specifically, the ones she always felt threatened by. That would just be too messy, too disrespectful. Said it with a laugh, like it was the most obvious thing. You wouldn't even want them, Anon. They're not your type. My type was apparently someone who makes me feel inadequate and exhausted. The audacity, the sheer entitlement. I nod, pretend to consider it, but my mind's already elsewhere. I already know I'm walking away. If that's what you need to be happy, I say, like a broken record. She smiles, relieved. Like I just signed a peace treaty. 2 days later, she texts me a photo of us from a vacation in 2019. No caption. Classic emotional bait. Next day, I call a lawyer. 2 weeks later, I pack my bags. She's shocked. She thought I was actually happy with an open relationship. Where she can find a guy to bang her in an hour, I'd have to spend a long time courting a girl I actually found attractive. You're just going to walk away after everything we've been through, she yells. I just look at her, tell her how stupid she is for thinking I was going to stay. I drop the keys on the counter, walk out the door, block her on everything that night. It hurt, but it felt like a weight had been lifted, like taking off tight shoes. First few weeks sucked, bored past her and stared at the wall a lot. Then I started showing up for myself. Gym 5 times a week, started cooking real meals again, focused on my side hustle, making actual money, started therapy, working through years of being a human doormat, realized my peace was more important than her approval. The concept of peace used to be foreign to me in our relationship. Now it felt like home. My friends, who'd seen me disappear down the Eleanor rabbit hole, were stoked. They said I looked happier, lighter. Meanwhile, Eleanor was posting sad girl selfies, captions about healing and betrayal, like she was the victim. Her feed was a train wreck of bad dates, guys ghosting her after one drink. Men are so emotionally unavailable these days, she'd post. No, Eleanor, they just don't want to be your emotional sponge. She thought she was unmatchable. Turns out she was just exhausting. Then, the hit list part of her boundaries plan comes into play. Not on dating apps yet, but word spreads. Bridget sees me at a bookstore. She used to shoot daggers at me during Eleanor's rants, but now she's smiling awkwardly. Hey, you look good. Eleanor's been intense lately. Asks if I want to grab coffee. I say sure. First meet is weird at first, but then it's just easy. Talk about sci-fi, weird podcasts, laugh a lot. She says, you're nothing like what she told us. I just nod. She texts later, hope we can talk again. Not revenge, just something real. Felt good being seen for once. Few weeks later, I see Daphne at a mutual friend's event. She's heard about me and Bridget, starts venting about men ghosting her. I just listen. Tells me I remind her of how guys used to be before dating apps. We keep it light. Text sometimes, hang out. Vivian must have heard through the grapevine that I was appearing again. I always thought she had a crush on me. Would stare at me for a bit too long. She messaged me asking if I want to grab a drink. Of course I do, Vivian. We meet up. One thing leads to another. We hook up. Then we start dating for real. Find out why she had a crush on me. We were actually a good pair. I never knew because my ex would hate me talking to any women. Eleanor, meanwhile, is spiraling, posting unhinged rants about betrayal. Says I'm dating her friends as a revenge tactic. Starts accusing them of stealing her life. Eleanor texts me, "You've ruined my life. I'm the one that tried to give her a perfect life." But she'd blame her own personal problems on me. Sometimes I look back and wonder how I tolerated it. Then I remember, when you're gaslit long enough, reality feels negotiable. Not anymore. I didn't get sucked off for years while married. Now Vivian will dress up as Dark Magician Girl and need to play Monster Reborn after she's done with me.